Hope you're doing well. Let's have a look and see what we got here. We've got some people in my house. Wow. Hey, Sai. Hey, Wendy Daniel. Hey, Tehillim, the Loyalty family. Who else? Darwood. Peace, man. Hey, brother. Hey, Alia. Hey, Meow Gang. I think that's everyone. Hey, hope you're all doing really well. Got a lot to get through tonight, so I'm going to get onto it straight away. Hey, Desert Rose. So, we have some information, lots of information actually. Hey, Janelle. Okay, so we had today, I spoke to the owner of the nursing home that I was talking about yesterday. Now, the owner of the nursing home from yesterday is... what was his name? I had it here. Brett someone or other. Let me find it. I've got it here. I've got to get the name right at least if I'm going to do it. Brett McMahon. So Brett McMahon I spoke to today from the nursing home, which was Cheltenham Manors nursing home. So Brett McMahon, spoke to him about the vaccine that he's looking to put into his nursing home and recorded the conversation, of course, because that's what I do, and found out as much information as I can. He said we're in a war right now and they're scared for their people in their nursing home. I asked how many cases of COVID-19. They've had none. So I said, you've got really good protocols in place, so keep up what you're doing. Keep this going. So I think what we have to look at here is that these people, so this guy at the nursing home, even though there's no cases there, the fear is through the roof. So he actually said he's the one who called out through his doctor, Dr. Michael Grant, and tried to work out if he could get the vaccine in as quickly as possible. So he started chasing for this vaccine to come through as quickly as possible. He spoke to Nikolai Petrovsky. Now the vaccine is called Covax. The guy, when he spoke to me, said he wants to get it in as quick as possible, as quick as he possibly can. And I was like, that's really bad. Like, this hasn't been tested. It's a synthetic vaccine, but they usually take 12 years of testing, and this has had none. This is 6 months old. Then he said, I choose whether I go with this or if the people have the risk of going for COVID. If I get to choose between the two, I would rush to get the vaccine first. Why would you go for a vaccine first? Go for health and safety. If one person gets COVID in your nursing home, separate them from everyone else. We should be looking at HCQ and other things, not vaccines. Now, the thing with this vaccine, I then studied Nikolai Petrovsky and had a look into what these vaccines were all about. And I had other people sending me information, and a really good friend sent something through that said this Nikolai Petrovsky worked on the SARS strain from 2005. He worked on the vaccine. It's the same strain that goes into both these vaccines. They actually inject this into insects, the COVID, and then when it comes out of the insects, they pull the synthetic strand and use that as part of their vaccine. It sounds like something from mad scientists, but it's actually how they do it. Now, he said in his study dated 2014 that many, up to half the mice that was tested on died. This is in the Journal of Virology. The mice died, okay? No proof of trial of studies. Then he said the SARS actually in the end was controlled without vaccines. They didn't need vaccines to control it. It died off by itself. Coronavirus vaccines present a unique problem, is what he wrote in this report. Immunized people develop lung problems. That's what their pathology came through. And vaccines actually exacerbate coronaviruses. So you're more likely to catch coronaviruses with these particular synthetic vaccines. He's written it here. Cytokine storm is what it's called, where your T cells override and they go too hard to try and fight and get the immune system up, which makes your lungs and your kidneys struggle, so you get breathlessness as well. And we're talking about testing this on our aged people. Now, the good news here is I've got some legal teams that are ready to get involved, and they're going to go after this guy, and they're going to push in to get an injunction done. That's the plan, to stop this guy into any of the aged care systems. And any of these vaccines that they try and do, we're going to try and get injunctions put in to stop it. So while people are saying, I'm scared and this is going to be bad, we're going to do something huge here to get these all stopped. It's going to be bigger than anything else. It's not just going to be local, it's going to be international law. And we're going to step in and make this stop. We have to stop it. We've caught it in time. We have to stop it now. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is something I'm just going to throw out there for you guys to study and come back to me tomorrow and talk about it. The Belt and Road Initiative. So the Belt and Road Initiative, we obviously know Dan Andrews bought into it. New Zealand bought into it as well. There's 138 countries worldwide that have bought into the Belt and Road Initiative. 138 countries. It's all about policy coordination, facility connectivity, unimpeded trade, financial integration, and people to help people. $755 billion worldwide has been borrowed out by China. And all the companies, when the graphs have been dropping down and everything else, the Belt and Road's gone up. So COVID-19 actually helps China make money. And we owe so much money. All these countries are owned pretty much by China by signing into this Belt and Road Agreement. You need to study it, have a good look into it. We've sold out. We've sold our souls. And this is a bad, bad thing. And again, we need to do inquiries into it and commissions. And we're going to push for that as well, because we've now got these huge legal teams getting involved with us. So keep an eye out for that as well. The next thing I was going to talk about, so I talked to some nurses today. So I spoke to a nurse from a particular hospital down in the area down towards Mornington and down that way. They said they had a particular patient who got tested for COVID-19. They were in palliative care. They tested for corona 3 times. They got 3 negative tests. Negative, negative, negative. Okay? So 3 negative tests. And then they had to, the family, because this person was passing away, the family had to come in with full PPE. So head to toe, all over, gloves, masks, shields, everything, to say goodbye to their loved one when they were passing away. Now, they tested negative 3 times, and yet their families had to be in full PPE gear. That is wrong. It's a mistake. It shouldn't be happening in these hospitals. It's actually disgusting that it's happening this way. Now, the nurse said when the person passed away, they then asked the doctor, what is this going to get put down as? And the doctor sort of shrugged and wasn't quite sure what's it going to be marked down as for the death. They couldn't say straight away. They had to go off and speak to someone else. And the family wanted answers right there and then. 3 negative tests, even though they were put in the COVID wing, coming from a nursing home in palliative care. This is bad, and it's happening everywhere. And it's going to be exposed, trust me. The next one I was going to talk about is someone whose grandfather was in palliative care for 3 months at Sunshine Hospital. Now, they actually had hepatitis C and cancer, and they passed away just a few days ago. Now, when they passed away, they knew he'd had hepatitis C and cancer. That's why he was in care. When they got to the funeral director said it's a COVID-19 death, so we have to do it in a certain way. And these guys are like, that's not a COVID-19 death. He had hepatitis C and cancer. That's what he was dying from. He was in palliative care. They're taking these numbers from their the deathbeds, the palliative care, and they're changing it. They're putting it as different figures. They're getting their COVID figures from these people. I saw another one today on my Facebook that was Glenferrie Private Hospital that had 9 patients put into them from aged care. 4 of them unfortunately passed away, and they've been all put down as COVID-19 even though they couldn't find the cause. These are just elderly people dying getting put down as COVID-19. This is not good. This is not good, okay? We know this is really, really not good, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. We're doing a live Zoom into the United Collective on Facebook and the Millions Rise Australia group. We're going to be doing it onto there. We're going to have Pete Evans, hopefully Isabel Lucas, Troy Thornton, who spoke up the other day about his uncle. We're going to have nurses, doctors, ADF. We're trying to get RFK on there. We're trying to get Dean Sparrow, who's a big vaccination lawyer from up in Queensland. Everyone to get on there and speak the truth about what they see happening right now around Australia to try and break this narrative down. They're all going to speak up and be as loud as they can and speak from their gut and speak from their truth, because now's the time we need to act and get this out there as much as possible. The last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is on my Instagram. We're doing a digital protest. There's a site on Facebook. I just don't have the information for it here. But if you go to my Instagram page, at Matt Lawson Photography, on there you'll see it, and it's a digital protest, and you can jump onto the Facebook link and it takes you to there. What we're going to then do is hit people like Dan Andrews, ScoMo, all their pages, 1,000 people at a time, just writing truths. Write down these people's posts until they need to remove their pages, like what happened with Bill Gates and other people. We're going to smash them. It's going to be a digital protest to say you can't continue to do these things. The lies are going to have to stop, and we're standing up for ourselves right now. The last thing I was going to talk to you guys about is continue to come from a place of love. Continue to come from a place of peace. Continue to come from a place of understanding. We need to remember perspective is key. Look at each other and see what each person is like. Understand that we're all coming from different parts of this story, but really we're all still coming to the same common goal, that we need our human rights to be preserved. We need a better life coming out of this reset, and we're going to change the world together, united. Forwards, we're going to move through this hardship. Verily with hardship comes ease. We're going to move through it. We're going to have a new perspective on life. We're going to love our families ever more than we ever have before. We're going to love our elderly more than we've ever loved them before. We're going to appreciate every bit of freedom we have. We're never going to go back to this life of our heads in our phones. We're never going to go back to this life of our heads in the sand. We're going to change the world bit by bit, all of us together. Okay, guys, peace.